Guys, most of the time on these videos, I'm telling you what not to spend your money on. Today, I'm going to do the exact opposite. Here are 10 things that I think you should upgrade as soon as you start making more money. And stay with me until number 8, because I think number 8 is one of the most important ones on the list. Now, let's jump right into it. The very first thing that you should upgrade is yourself. Not your car, not your house, not your wardrobe, what you wear, but you. Look. You are the greatest financial asset that you got, okay? Your knowledge, your skills, your experiences, your health, your ability to earn money. That's what produces everything else on this list, okay? One of the best investments I ever made myself wasn't in the stock market. It was investing in my own learning, reading the books, taking the courses, listening to people who were where I wanted to eventually end up. Because here's something that I learned over the years. Nobody can take you from you. You are the secret sauce to your success. Therefore, the first thing you got to upgrade when you get more money is you. And here's the beautiful thing about that. When you invest in yourself and become more valuable, you're going to make more money. Money follows improvement in yourself. You're going to command more income. You're going to have more opportunities. You're going to make better decisions, have more confidence. Investing in yourself pays dividends for the rest of your life. The goal is not just to make more money. The goal is to become the kind of person who can continue to make more money down the road. So buy the course, read the book, learn the new higher paying skill. Take whatever certifications you need to take that's going to boost your skills and your paycheck. Join the program if you got to, whatever it takes to better you, because every single dollar that you invest in yourself has the potential to produce hundreds of thousands of dollars down the road. That's the upgrade that keeps paying you back time after time after time. Now, let's go to the second one. The second upgrade that you should make when you make more money is simply upgrade the quality of food that you're eating. And listen, I'm not telling you to suddenly start shopping at some super duper expensive grocery store all the time. And I'm also not saying everything has to be all extra organic, right? But here's the deal. If you finally have a little money, stop putting the cheapest stuff that you can find into the only body that you're ever gonna have. You spent years trying to build your bank account. I get it, we all have. Now, when you get more money, you gotta start investing in your health. Buy better ingredients. Eat more fresh food. Even if it costs you a little more, right? The fresh fruit, the healthier protein, drink more spring water, cut back on all that processed junk. Now, let me say this. I don't spend lots of money on a lot of stuff. I'm pretty frugal, right? But I don't mind spending good money on good food because I believe that good food is what I call preventive maintenance. You're either going to pay the grocery store or eventually you're going to end up paying the doctor. Look, nobody gets everything right all the time. I get it. I enjoy my cookies from time to time as well, just like everybody else. But the overall quality of what you eat, it really does matter in the long run. Your body notices, your brain, your energy, and as you get older, it really begins to make an even bigger difference in your overall quality of life. The older I get, the more I realize that eating better isn't about looking good. It's really about just feeling good, right? Having the energy, thinking more clearly, showing up every day at my best. That's an investment, in my opinion, that's worth making. Now, the third upgrade is simply this, your sleep system. Notice I didn't just say your mattress, right? I said your entire sleep system. Look, if you have something like sleep apnea, like I do, I have sleep apnea, you gotta wear the mask. You gotta use the CPAP machine. Here's the deal. Sleep is not just about what you're laying on. That's important. It's everything that's gonna help you get that quality rest. It's the mattress, it's the pillows, it's the sheets, the comforter, the blackout curtains that make you sleep an extra hour a day, right? The temperature in the room. Maybe it means investing in a sound machine that gives you some type of white noise or whatever you need, right? If that's what helps you sleep, whatever it takes. Because sleep affects everything. Your focus, your mood, your patience, your overall health, your productivity every day. And so, yeah, a part of that is a mattress, right? A good quality, comfortable mattress. There may not be many injuries worse than a bad back. If you ever thrown your back out, you know what I'm talking about. You can't sit, you can't stand, you can't sleep, you can't even tie your shoe, right? That's when you realize just how valuable a good mattress really is. People spend $40,000, $50,000 on a new car. Then they go home and sleep on a 15-year-old mattress that's worn out. That don't make much sense to me, but people do it all the time. You spend about 1/3 of your life, roughly 8 hours a night, in the bed. Think about that. So why wouldn't you invest in the place where your body repairs itself every night? Sleep is one of the greatest forms of self-care out there. You might as well upgrade your sleep system, right? For me, you can keep the vacations, you can keep the spa days, you can keep the candles, right? But you got to give me my sleep. I need some good sleep. Look, if we can all agree on the importance of good sleep, do me a favor and let me know in the comments below. Now, let's go to the fourth thing that you should upgrade as soon as you get more money. And that's simply buy back your time. Now, I'm not talking about being lazy. I'm talking about using your money and your time more wisely. When you're struggling financially, you do everything yourself because what? You're trying to save an extra dollar, right? So you mow the lawn yourself. You wash the car yourself. You spend 3 Saturdays trying to fix something around the house that probably would have taken a professional an hour. I've been there, right? There's nothing wrong with that season of life because you're trying to save money. But eventually, when you have more money, your time becomes more valuable than the money you're trying to save. Maybe you hire someone to do deep cleaning of your house once every other month. Maybe you need to go ahead and pay somebody else to mow the lawn and trim the bushes and clean the gutters. Or maybe you hire a handyman instead of spending your entire weekend watching YouTube videos trying to put a garbage disposal together or trying to fix the garage, right? Money can be replaced. Time can't. Once a Saturday is gone, guess what? It's gone forever. You ain't getting that Saturday back. Sometimes the best thing that money can buy is not another possession. It's just peace and convenience and more time with your kids or with your spouse, more time doing the things that actually matter the most in life. When you finally have some money, don't just buy more stuff, buy more freedom. Or let me say it another way, buy you some time back. Now, the next one is probably sitting in your kitchen right now, and I'm just going to be real practical with this thing. If you've been holding on to it for 20 years, it might be time to let it go. Number 5 is upgrade your kitchen. Now, I'm not telling you to go spend $50,000 remodeling the whole kitchen. That's not what I mean. Let me be more specific when I say upgrade your kitchen. I'm talking about upgrade the things in the kitchen that you actually use every single day. Look, some of you all watching this right now are still cooking with the same pots and pans that you've had since the Clinton administration, right? Now, I'm guilty, right? I got a few of those myself. A lot of us got a frying pan, keeping it real, that's just warped on the bottom and tilts to one side when you put it on the stove, right? The handle's loose, the nonstick coating is all ripped up. Look, and somehow we just keep using that thing, right? Look, honestly, it may have some sentimental value, but look, when you get some money, you got to start replacing some of that old stuff in your kitchen. A quality skillet, a good set of knives that actually cut when you need them to cut, a solid cutting board, maybe a nice blender or a juicer if you use one. Maybe you got to upgrade your microwave. Upgrade your dishes. The set of plates and saucers your grandmother gave you have some sentimental value, and there's nothing wrong with keeping them. But it's okay if you go out and buy some new ones too. And here's why this matters, okay? A better kitchen can encourage you to do what? Cook more at home. You eat better when your pans are not peeling. You spend less money eating out. You might enjoy preparing meals at home more. And that's good for your health, and it's good for your wallet. Look, I've learned something over the years. When your tools are better and nicer, cooking don't feel like a chore. It actually can become somewhat enjoyable. That's just a practical upgrade. Nothing flashy, nothing excited. Nobody got to know about it, but it's going to improve your life almost every single day that you walk into that kitchen. Now, the 6th thing to upgrade as soon as possible when you get more money is hire you a great CPA. And start tax planning, right? When I say CPA, we're talking about certified public accountant. Notice, I didn't say somebody that does taxes, right? Because there's a difference. Look, when you don't have much money, doing your own taxes is cool, right? No big deal. But once your finances start getting more complicated, you need a professional, especially if you own a business or if you have rental property or if you have multiple streams of income coming in. You got investments, right? Retirement accounts. Or you're just trying to make smarter financial decisions. Now, let me tell you something. Taxes are one of the biggest expenses that most people will ever have, but hardly anybody plans for them. A lot of people just sort of react every March and April, right? But look, a good CPA don't just file your taxes. A really solid CPA is going to help you plan. They're going to help you avoid costly mistakes and save money and help you understand the tax laws and legally keep more of the money that you earned. That's worth paying for, in my opinion. Many of you heard me tell the story about my $25,000 tax mistake. Trust me, that lesson was expensive and it taught me something that I'll never forget. The right professional advice oftentimes is going to cost you a little money, but bad professional advice is going to cost you a whole lot more in the long run. So don't wait until tax season to run down and get your taxes done for $79. Look, when you get more money, and even before you get more money, you need to interview a few CPAs, build some relationships with a few of them. And when you need one, you'll have a good one on hand that you can choose from, and you'll sleep a whole lot better, I guarantee it. Now, number 7 is pay for other people's knowledge. This one's completely changed the way I personally think, okay? When I was younger, I thought I had to figure everything out on my own. I thought that's just what successful people did, right? They learn to do it and they do it. And then I realized something, okay? Successful people ask for help. In areas where they aren't very smart, they add smart people to the team to help them out. They hire the coaches. They hire the consultants. Wealthy people, they hire the mentors and they buy the courses. They read the books. They join the groups and the associations. Why? Because they're buying years and years of other people's experience, other people's knowledge. If somebody spent 20 years figuring something out and they can teach it to you in a weekend, why wouldn't you pay for that? You're buying fewer mistakes when you buy other people's experiences, right? You're getting clarity up front so you don't have to spend years banging your head against the wall making a mistake. You're buying a shorter learning curve because no matter how much you think you know, somebody knows something that you don't know that could potentially help you out. And that's one of the reasons that wealthy people or people building wealth or people that have money, they're usually lifelong learners. Sometimes one conversation, one book, one chapter from a book, one mentor, one course, right, can completely change the direction of your own financial life. Now, I ask you to stick around for number 8 because number 8 is one that almost nobody wants to think about, but it's necessary. It's estate planning. Now, before you think this one is not for you, hear me out on this. When you get more money, this is probably one of the greatest uses of your money. I'm not talking about death here. I know death is an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people. I'm talking about being responsible. Every single adult needs to think about having an estate plan, especially if you have children or grandchildren, or if you own a home, or if you have retirement accounts or investments, or if you've just worked hard to build your wealth. Here's the question. If something happened to you tomorrow, would your family know what to do? Would your family know where everything is located? Would your family know who gets what? Who makes decisions? Would your wishes actually be followed? Or would they be left trying to figure things out and fussing and fighting? Estate planning is not just for millionaires, guys. It's for adults. A simple will, maybe a trust, depending on your situation, a power of attorney, healthcare directives, beneficiary designations that are up to date, right? These are not exciting things to think about, right? They can be depressing for a lot of people. I get it. But these are some of the most thoughtful financial decisions that you're ever going to make. Because with an estate plan, you're protecting the people that you care about the most. See, building wealth is not just about accumulating a bunch of money. It's about making sure your money continues to help the people that you love. That's real financial planning. Now, the next couple of upgrades are other ones that people don't think about until it's too late. Let's go to number 9. Now, number 9 is this. Start thinking about legal protection. And here's what I mean. I mean an attorney. Let me say this out loud. The more you own, the more you have to protect. Now, listen, when you don't have much, there's not much risk. But when you own a home and when you own investments and when you own a business and when your net worth starts growing, guess what? You got to start thinking differently. You don't wait until there's a legal problem to start looking for legal help. Just like you don't wait until your house catches on fire before you buy homeowners insurance. You get the insurance first. That may mean having an attorney that you can call when you need some legal advice. Maybe the legal advice is just reviewing some contracts before you sign them. Maybe it's making sure your business is set up correctly. Maybe it's making sure that you have purchased that piece of real estate properly. Protect what you spent years building. Because one bad lawsuit, one bad contract, one expensive legal mistake could erase years off the hard work that you put into this thing. Don't take legal advice from your cousin or your hairdresser, right? Or somebody who's arguing in the comments section on Facebook. When you get money, pay a professional. That's what professionals are for. Building wealth is not just about making money, it's about protecting money. And an attorney does that for you. Now, the 10th thing that you should upgrade once you get more money is your giving. Give to charity. Support causes you believe in. Help and tithe and give to your church. Money. Help your community with money. Help young people with money. Help a single mom, a struggling family with money. One of the greatest blessings of building wealth and having more money is being in a position to bless other people. That's part of what your wealth is for. Now, let me be clear here. I'm not saying that you should just give away money that you don't have. I'm not saying neglect your own four walls at home. Take care of your responsibilities first. But along this whole journey of building wealth, you need to be building in generosity. And this is one that you don't have to wait till you have more money. You can start the process of giving now. It don't matter how much. It could be $5 a week. But just make sure that when you get more money, it's already baked into your own philosophy and how you manage your money. And you make it intentional. Decide ahead of time that generosity is going to be a part of who you are. Here's what I noticed. Money simply magnifies who you already are. If you're a generous person before you have money, you're going to be a generous person after you have more money. But watch this now. If you're selfish before you have money, you'll probably end up being selfish when you get more money. Generosity is not about how much money you have. It's really about your heart. I don't know about you, but I want to make a difference in somebody else's life. To me, that's one of the greatest purposes of wealth. Not just to improve my own life, but to improve the lives of other people. So, there you have it, guys. Those are 10 things that I believe that you should upgrade as soon as you get more money. Almost nothing on this list was about looking rich. It was all about living better. That's the difference. When you make more money, spend it on building systems that improve your health, improve your knowledge, improve your peace of mind, improve your relationships and your productivity, and things that improve your future. That's how you build a wealthy life. Guys, let me know in the comments below which one of these 10 upgrades that you think is the most important. Or did I leave something off the list? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you got value from this video, smash that like button below and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And check out 9 more things that are absolutely worth spending your money on right here next.